All right, let's go to Lyft. I want to take a quick little lift look. Of course, it's probably not on the net change up, but probably on the net change down, showing up. But let's talk a little bit about Lyft. We talked about Uber earlier. It was earlier this week, right? Uber, or was
Yeah, it
yeah, it was
was.
earlier this week, right? I just wanted to make sure. Lyft Q1 adjusted came in at 7 cents, beat the loss of 6 cent estimate. Sales of 1.0 billion beat the 981.42 million estimate. They do see Q2 revenues at 1 billion to 1.02 billion versus a 1.08 billion estimate. CEO David Rasher says that focusing on particular competitive pricing that increases our ride volumes. Lyft CFO said deterioration in the margin is driven entirely by lower revenue per ride due to pricing competitively. So, I mean, just to kind of put it out there, if you guys are looking for cheaper rides, maybe Lyft will have that cheaper ride as they're trying to battle back and get the volume.
I don't know what to say. I mean, the stock is
Yeah,
it's just
it's
a
just
pig.
atrocious.
I mean, yeah. I'll just give you my comments are pre-market low at 882, or excuse me, yeah, 882, and where you at? What's the old time low? Old time low 819. So if you're stepping out here, that's where it's at. I mean, I have Uber on my phone. I don't have Lyft on my phone. Not
And the
that I
same
use
thing.
it. Yeah, I mean, I don't
I
use
use
it.
both. I use
Oh,
both. I'll tell
really?
you, the majority of people have both. The majority of people have
Oh,
both, and
really?
you'll look
Okay.
at. I mean, let's just be honest. You'll look at what's cheaper, right? I mean, if you could get a cheaper ride, it's the same thing. Let's just be honest. Lyft
But
or Uber,
but
it's the
Uber's
same
got
thing.
the name. Uber has been,
It
first
does.
to market here. Lyft has always been trying to catch up, and I think at the end of the day here, Uber is just a hell of a lot better company. So I'd rather own Uber. Wish we would have bought it 5 days ago and it was 30. It's now 37 here now, so gone too far. I'm not interested in owning Lyft, and maybe it comes back, and maybe it's going to be a bounce back. But again, I think I want to own best of breed here, so I'd rather buy Uber on a dip as opposed to buying Lyft on a dip.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's move out of Lyft. We did take a look at AMC, so let's go to Cigna Group. CI, you guys can see it on here, right here. It's up for a pretty good amount. Let's talk a little bit about their earnings. They came in at an adjusted EPS of $5.41, beat the $5.24 estimate. Sales of 46.52 billion, beat the 45.53 billion estimate. What do you guys think about Cigna as they move forward?
Defensive stock. Although not very defensive lately. Holy, I didn't look
Yeah.
at the chart. Why the separation here?
Phew.
You think of Cigna and like, holy, what has happened here?
I mean, just look at like kind of UNH
Yeah, but they
and
didn't look like this.
yeah,
UNH has
they've all
held up.
come
I mean,
they've all
it's
come
off from the
down pretty
highs, but this
fast.
CI, this has been, a fall from grace like we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know it was this low. I hadn't looked at Cigna for a while. Again, it's normally a defensive stock, and actually you can move opposite to the market sometimes. You got an ugly downtrend here now, though, and now you got the counter rally. Hard to get excited about this. I think you got major resistance up 255 to 260. Not buying it.
Yeah, good area. I'd even go 254.45. That's your 3-day high. And then 256.77 is your 4-day highs right there. That's your first potential area resistance up on 187,000 shares. Has it's decent volume for this higher price stock. But if I'm going healthcare, or if I'm doing something in this arena, I don't know how if they're super closely related. I would look at what David Trainer talked about yesterday. That HCA Healthcare, right? Much better chart, much better numbers going forward.
Yeah,
So that's what I would do
buy
if I was,
strength.
yeah, buy strength instead of trying to buy weakness. We know that doesn't pay all the time.
All right, I got one more earnings report to kind of go through. I got Warner Brothers Discovery Q1 EPS down from 69 cent year over year, now at a loss of 44 cents. Sales of 10.7 billion, missed 10.78 billion estimate. They did expect the streaming business to be profitable this year, earlier than expected. What was the ticker again for Warner Brothers?
WBD.
Thank
Hmm.
you. Appreciate that. I'm having a little bit of a brain fart this morning.
That's all right. We
But
all do.
definitely, of course, Warner Brothers Discovery is adding Discovery Plus content to HBO Max and relaunching the service as Max later this month.
7 3
I just
and a
want to take it back to
half.
Paramount.
That's what I would have been long into this report. Just
Like, look at Paramount and WBD, obviously, not getting hit like Paramount was, but that was like a shellacking of all shellackings. Here's Paramount that was sitting up not too far from its yearly highs. Obviously way off of its all-time high, but it had bounced back. And just like that, one report gives the entire year of gains back on one day, boom, down. I was like, and I had the pair on here, and I do have a little bit of a pair here on Paramount, just for day trades, which I'll work out after the open. But wow, 16 good support on PARA, but that has just been the beats. And it's just this industry. I mean, maybe, Paramount, WBD, I don't know. They're trying to get into streaming. They're trying to move ahead there because they know that's where everybody is going. But it's just the pain of getting there. WBD, similar situation here. Hard to catch the falling knife.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's giving
is.
it back half of the move, right? So already. So if you want to buy it on stability, then you want to see it get it back above, halfway of the move, 12 and a half. But if you're just taking stabs at all these daily lows here, 1123 was a low. Oh, well, the next low was 1073. Oh, the next low was 1012. So not a lot to lean on. At least, for this one, if you felt like you missed the dip, buy the dip opportunity, maybe this would be, wait a day or two, see if you can put a couple lows, maybe finds a home at 11 and a quarter. Theoretically, and then it turns up. But yeah, it would have been hard to go into after watching Para yesterday. It would have been hard to take this one long into the report.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Scary. What gave Para the lift? It was the World Cup. Other than that, no one wants this. No one goes to Paramount Plus. It was just kind of more about
what do they
the
charge
World
for
Cup
that?
gave the lift.
Do we know what they charge for that?
I've never even considered.
I've never even considered buying Paramount Plus.
That gives more than
what's
an answer.
on it.
That's that. I mean, you're gonna have kind of your classic kind of NBC stuff. You got some soccer stuff that shows up there. That's a little bit more.
Is
exclusive.
it NBC? Is it NBC?
Paramount is
Comcast is
It's Comcast, right? It's with
Comcast.
They do have soccer. They have some good shows that some people watch. I have seen some people. Yellowstone. This is it. This is the top.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that's the top show.
CBS.
Yeah. That's the top show.
Yeah, it's CBS.
No one needs this. That's my thing.
I don't need it.
Yellowstone on Hulu. I can watch all the stuff that you can get on that on Hulu, and I can get other stuff. So, I mean, I personally would use probably Hulu to watch all that stuff. But, hey, to each his own. If you guys are using Para, let us know in the chat because we definitely need to see who is using it.
Lisa and I were
using it, Joel?
No. We were on vacation. It was like our first vacation after like the pandemic. I can't remember what the date was. And it was during the Masters. And I wanted to watch the Masters. And I'm like, in the place, the Airbnb we were staying in, like they just didn't have regular cable TV. I was like going nuts. And I'm like, I want to watch the Masters. And Lisa's like, well, you got to do this. And she spent all this time, signing up for it. And then as soon as, we left there and the Masters is over, we canceled it. So, that's
exactly what I just mentioned. Using it for a little bit of time for a sporting event and then canceling it. That's what I see happen often.
None of these companies are as good as Netflix. Yeah, none of them, including Disney Plus.
Well, let's be honest, dude.
Netflix
took a while to get to what the level that they are, right? It wasn't like they first got into streaming and then just completely killed it. And I think that these companies are going to take a while.
Netflix was the steal back at like 175, 180. When it got down to a P of 16, 17, Netflix was the steal. Now the P is, I think, over 30, and it's come back up. It might even be higher than that, but like at 290, I wish I talked about under 300 rebuying this, and I still think Netflix is still going to be a buy in here at some point in time.
320
it's going to help them. It's going to help them with the whole not sharing accounts too. I think people are saying that's going to hurt them, but I tell you, there's a lot of people in Canada that just had to sign up because you can't share accounts in Canada anymore, and it's like, well, it's $15 a month. I'll just sign up instead of like borrowing, from a friend.
All right, I got to hop here in a second. S&Ps are holding on to some nice gains, 41.30.